Hey everybody, it's Cauliflower Man bringing you another gameplay of Battleborn. In this game I am playing on Overgrowth. It's the game type incursion, and I am playing as Thorn. Thorn's kind of, I guess you could call her the generic archer that doesn't do her justice. She's a great character. She's kind of hard to learn to play well. A lot of people think she's weak because you can't aim well with her, and that's just because you can't really judge the distance of her arrow when you fire it or its speed, so you just have to get used to the lead. There's a little bit of a lead, and once you get used to it though, you'll do a lot of damage. And then you gotta play her right. The way you play her is you basically will bait people into getting close to you, and then you use your volley. Your volley is basically, it's a shotgun almost of arrows. It does huge damage up close, especially on large characters. I also use the level 1 upgrade to make it pass through enemies. That way, if you have an enemy lined up against a wall and you shoot at them, you'll shoot the volley through them. You'll do like 400 damage on the first shot. It goes through the enemy, hits the wall, rebounds back into the enemy, and hopefully if you do it perfectly, you'll deal double damage. Now, generally speaking, you don't deal double damage because you don't line the wall up perpendicularly behind them, and few walls are exactly, straight, so it just doesn't work out perfectly. But you can usually get an extra 40% damage, and as you see right there, I hit that elite bot with a full volley and it did 420 damage at level 3. So if I was to get that through a wall and back, or to rebound back on somebody, it'd do a lot of damage. Now right here, the one thing I really like about Orendi is you can attack people from multiple angles, and from a long distance, so that you're not really in trouble. Back here I'm completely out of range of the minions, but I'm able to watch the lane, so I can attack minions if I want to, and I can also attack their people. I also try and keep pushing forward. I am using gear to increase my health regen 21, so I've got 28 health regen per second, which is quite a bit, so I can actually take some damage and keep pushing. I just don't want to be too far out of the battle lines. So right here, I level up the volley, give it more arrows, so it just does a huge amount of damage now. And then I start taking out their turrets. This Benedict comes after me, and I'm pretty sure he hit me with his Hawkeye there, so I ran away. I saw that Orendi, put one shot on her, thought the Benedict was going to follow, so I started to run, but then our Orendi came back. I didn't really hit their Orendi with the volley very well there, but I finished her off with that arrow. Volley's much better against larger characters. Orendi's not that large, but it's got a pretty quick cooldown, so I use it on that Orendi. Then this Benedict comes. He hits me with his lock-on, but I hit him with my volley and 2 arrows, and so he's basically dead. And then I put that last arrow on him, and I finish him off. And so now I'm getting close to level 5, which is where I unlock my ultimate. That Miko right there was real weak. I couldn't kill him, so I really try and follow him. He makes the mistake of trying to push forward. Andy's in front of that rock, so I volley him. It rebounds and does way more damage than needed to kill him. Then I get my ultimate, kill that Montana, and I just start clearing their team. Once you hit level 5 with Thorn here, you start doing huge amounts of damage. Her ultimate is crazy good. It's not the best ultimate. Thorn, you really have to work at her to play her well. Like right there, that was a real good shot on that Wrath in the middle of everybody there. But as long as you're doing your combinations correctly, and that's just when they get close, have your volley ready and use it on them, you'll really punch out a huge amount of damage, and a lot of enemies just won't expect it. They expect to get close to Thorn, and you're a small character, and they expect to be alright, but if you have your volley, they're kind of screwed. And then if you even use your volley and your ultimate in tandem, they really have no way of getting away from it. Most characters anyways, it's just such a huge amount of damage. Especially considering level 10, you can put a blight field where your ultimate hits, your Wrath of the Wild's ultimate, but your blight field slows enemies, so you use your ultimate and slow them. And then right there, Benedict's weak, so I use my ultimate early. I didn't expect to kill him, but we did get the kill. Right there, if you notice, I made a wrong choice on that level up here at level 6. I took the 20% cooldown instead of slow for blight. Don't do that. That was a mistake on my part. But anyways, you'll see in this next video that I've got, I choose the slow, and it's a 4v5, and we just kind of melt this other team. And they were actually a pretty good team, so it was very hard for us to do this, but our whole team was kind of working on all cylinders, and so we just pull it out. Alright everybody, so this is the second video. In this video it's a 4v5 and we do not have a healer, which is not a way I would recommend going into a 4v5, although I think our character here just quit out on us, I don't remember. But anyways, we do have a Cleese though, so the Cleese is at least able to offer some support. He heals shields. I don't have shields, but it doesn't matter because Thorn's got enough survivability. You don't really need a healer with her. That's one of the things I really like about her. I'm also using her level 3 upgrade, which gives me an offhand melee attack. The reason being that allows me to jump from below the window up into the window without using the jump up, and you'll see me do it a few times here. Like, I think there's a point where Galt will pull me in and I'm slow and I get out at super low health just because I'm able to make the jump up from below window to window without using the jump up, or without using that little box that you can jump up on to help you get up there. The reason that you can do that is the slow does not affect the height that the offhand melee boost you backwards, and you saw me use the offhand melee right there, and it pushed me backwards, and that's what you use to hit the jumps, and it's not affected by slow, or if it is, it's not affected very much. So that just allows you to still have basically the capability of jumping very high even when you're slow. So we're down a character, and then by losing that we're 3 to 5. So I do a quick volley on that Arendi. She blinded me, but I know I hit her good on that volley. So always when you get blind, don't panic. Just try and remember what you're doing and just do the best that you can. Luckily Thorn's ultimate has a large area of effect, so I had a lot of room for error. Right there I get pulled in by the Galt, I get slowed, but like I said, you can just use that offhand melee. The way to get the maximum boost upwards with it is you look down at your feet, and also know that it's going to push you backwards, so try and look a little bit away from where you're trying to jump so that the boost pushes you towards where you want to go. But like I said, without having a healer, it's kind of necessary to use that offhand melee as Thorn, just to make sure you can get out of any sticky situations. I also use the increasing of the height of her double jump, and then right here I'm pushing after this Miko here. I use my double jump to get up here. He makes the mistake of, it's really hard to shoot a Miko from up close, especially when they're that color. And he chose that color just to be hard to see, but he makes the mistake of still challenging, and so I just wait until I get my volley, and then he can't do anything. It was just 2 arrows, 1 volley, and he's dead. So the Miko should never challenge a Thorn. That was just a dumb mistake. I also had an Oscar with me, so I don't know why I did it. But I'm gonna profit off his mistake, I suppose. So right here, I shouldn't have had to use that ultimate on that Pendles, but I did because I just wanted him out of there. When you're in a 4v5, any chance you've got to get a kill, do it, just because that'll even up the game, especially when you're in a 4v5 and you're competing with them, because we just need any sort of advantage, obviously, and we're playing better together as a team than they are, so we just got to make sure that any chance we have to kill an enemy character that we take it, because that's what I try to do here. So right here, it's just, we're kind of out of control of the center area, so we need to kind of clear it up. I get around this Galt. He's great to use volley on because he's a huge character, so I use my volley. By the time he figures out I'm right beside him, it's too late. That Miko comes, starts healing him, but you can deal more damage shooting your arrows than Miko can healing generally, so shoot away if you're accurate. But so we kill that Galt, then Benedict is able to kill the that Miko. I shoot my arrows here. I don't think it's my arrows that kill her, that already. I think it was actually the curse damage. I get the extra 144 damage if you curse an enemy, or maybe it's 120, I don't know. It's the extra 10 ticking on every enemy that I shoot with a fully charged arrow. But that's always nice because it's basically a poison that just kills them over time, like I did that already right there. And then so right here, anytime you got a chance in a 4v5, always make sure to take out that sentry and we take the lead. Alright, so this is the second video in that 4v5 as Thorn. In this video, I'm level 8 now. We've kind of got map control, but it's hard to keep map control as the 4 in a 4v5. They've got a lot of enemy AI coming, a bunch of minions. They just had the double thralls. They just had, or now they have this single thrall and an elite bot, and so they're going to try and make a push here. We're 1 down, so now it's a 3v5. So the first thing I do is I just blight this bunch of enemies right here. That just slows all the enemies, does a ton of damage. and then it makes it also easy for me to hit criticals. I hear that Arendi's ult coming, I get out of the way. I jump up on top of the window and I just try and make sure to attack them without putting myself in harm's way. This Miko tries to basically challenge me. I'm able to kind of body block him as Thorn, which is sort of tough to do, but it allowed me to shoot him in the head. Miko's pretty easy to hit in the head if you're close enough to him. He really shouldn't be challenging me in this. Then right here I see this Arendi over here, and I just really want to kill her because her ultimate is not good to me, so I'm able to do a lot of damage with my volley, and then I just use my ultimate on her because I don't want to give her the chance to use hers on me. Level 9, I always choose the health regen with every arrow you hit with volley. You shoot 7 arrows, so if you hit all 7, and you can get 48 health regen from them. So that's, you know, over 300 health regen. That's ridiculous. And then that Galt's a great person to shoot volley at because he's big and he's wide, so he's an easy kill for me. By the time he was almost dead, or by the time he realized he was almost dead, it was too late. Then up there, that Deandi gets killed by our Benedict right as she's using her ultimate, which is unfortunate for her, but it's real good for us. And so then I'm just trying to keep this player advantage right here, and I'm able to volley that Miko right as he's standing against the wall, and so it just does huge damage. And then he tries to heal himself up, but I'm just doing too much damage, so I'm able to kill him even though he's healing all the damage that he was healing his players with his biosynthesis right there. And then level 10, always use the Blight Field with the Wrath of the Wild's ultimate. The reason being, the Blight Field puts a slow on enemies, so you ultimate them and then you slow them and then do damage over time. And then that Whiskey was, or not that Whiskey, that Pendles was a lucky kill. I just got one shot on him. He happened to be that low health. And then I just come after this Galt right here because, again, he's just a great target for me. I used my ultimate a little bit early, but it doesn't matter because Galt's an easy target, so I'm able to kill him with it anyways. Then I try and slow this Deandi. Deandi is one of the hardest characters to hit. She seems to move around when she attacks, but when you play her, she doesn't seem to move. I'm not sure how her hitbox works, but then I just stand right here in this area, and it's perfect for Thorn because it's got this perpendicular wall behind you, so it's easy to hit people with volley. I used it on that Miko right there, got that kill, then I just start going to work on this sentry. And then our Oscar uses his ultimate, but unfortunately he gets stunned by that Deandi, so he gets killed. But like I said, I just keep using this wall right here in this volley, and I'm high enough level that I've got a huge damage bonus against these other enemies who are lower levels and weaker, just because they haven't gotten as much experience as me. So I just sit up here, and anytime they try and make a push, you know, I just push them backwards. And that's really the way you want to do it as Thorn. I get a bunch of help from my teammates here. I try and sort of push and follow this Arendi right here, but I miss her with the volley. I miss her with all my arrows. And then I just use my offhand melee to get out of there. That offhand melee is great, and it saves me so many times in this game, but just jump up, use that offhand melee, and people just don't expect you to jump that high. And then also if you use it to sort of go in different angles so that you change direction while you're jumping. And then that Galt really wanted to follow me and he got stuck on our minions. Always make sure to take advantage of enemy mistakes. Then again, this Miko's really easy to headshot at close range, so I headshot him, hit him with my volley, the Benedict finishes him off, and then this Arendi gets finished off by our guys here, so we're just able to basically clear everybody here. As you can see, it's a 4v5. I'm 15-1. I'm kind of just crushing this team, and I really want to finish this game off right now. We've got an advantage of you know, 2-5, and so all I'm doing is trying to kill these minions. This Deandi keeps trying to ult me though, and so I'm trying to make sure to make her to miss, so I just stay far enough away, and then I get our minions through here, and then I start doing as much damage as I can to the sentry, but they still got turrets and stuff, so I attack the turret. As you can see, I jump over that turret. If you have someone with the capability of jumping over the turret, it's a really great way to do it, just because then you don't get attacked by it, but I die. And that's the end of that video there. But as you can see, Thorn does huge damage, and she's a great character to play. I really view Thorn almost as like the skilled version of Arendi. Arendi takes no skill at all to play, but she can do a lot of damage and kill players well. Thorn accomplishes the same task, but she takes skill. So I really like Thorn. She's one of my favorite characters in this game.